All right, I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as our own. And we work towards being the artist we've always wanted to be, or, ew, what is that? We work being the artist we've always wanted to be. Behind me, once again, is Emma E. Booker. And I'm not doing this for any particular reason, except that I've been trying to work out a way to create mural-size images. So this is a mock-up for no project at all. Just it's for my own edifice, because when I first did, the first 12 times I did images of Emma E. Booker, it wasn't quite what I wanted it to be, and I kept, because I had to work on blowing it up and figuring out, how to graph it and all this stuff, how to grid, and we did several different grids on the channel, including a doodle grid, and then I laid out umpteen just standard grids so I could keep blowing it up and trying out different things. But what I really wanted to find in the end was something that would lock into my head and be wholly unique-ish. Usually I use a lot of colors in my portraits, but I wanted to try something that would be a little bit more signature and also quicker for me to handle if, when, whatever, something happens in my life. So I've reached it because in one of the last videos we did, or we're reaching towards it anyway, we've got a springboard now. In one of my last videos I showed you Sung Mei Ling, and in that portrait, the first image I did of her, it was using my standard teals and blues and a little bit of gray. Then she fell off the wall. She got so weighty, she just finally said, I've had enough, and fell off the wall. So I did it again, because I'm trying to find this rhythm, something that locks into my brain and something I know that I can rely on. You know, we have so much, as artists, we have to find techniques and ideas that are comfortable, and they feel that they are our own and that we can rely on. So I turned Sung Mei Ling, I used her, I used the typical aerosols, or almost typical aerosols, but then over the top I approached her face with more black, gray, and white. And then I took that and extended it to this image of Emma E. Booker. Now, as we know, Emma E. Booker, the only photograph they have is small, it's tiny, it's grainy, it's really hard to see, but because of all the other portraits I had done of her, all the work I had done on her, I already knew her face, or I had an idea of her features. I was comfortable with her features. So I went ahead, and this time I approached her the way I did Sung Mei Ling, with colorful undertones. Like you can see it obviously right here, which I'm not particularly happy with, but in here you can see it throughout. There are oranges, teals, and blues, but then I went over the top using lines, dots, because I've been interested in finding not quite an engraver's feel, but sort of. Not quite, almost that antique newspaper feel, almost, but not quite, more of a painterly style. So this is what we've come to. I think I can put her to bed now. This will be the 13th time I've painted her, but this is what I've been working towards, is finding that rhythm, finding a place. And I'm going to take this idea of using the colors, but layering them with grays, blacks, and whites, and approach the next one, which is James Johnson from the Beaverbrook community in Worcester, Massachusetts. I've got him started, but I really just wanted to get her finished. And this drove me absolutely bonkers for 2 days getting here. But then yesterday, within like an hour or two, it just went boom, 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 and the lines fell into place and she popped out. She's not perfect. But I'm slightly embarrassed by the end product, but I'm also excited by her too, because when I look back and I try and reflect and relax my mind when I'm looking at photographs I've taken of the image, sometimes I try and see it through other people's eyes, which means I'm trying to see what's wrong with her. And we all do this. We look and see what's wrong with the image first. And then we try and I know I do, I try and make excuses for it and blah, 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 and we go through this whole process. But if I take a break from that and come back to the images that I do post online and remove judgments I believe other people might have somewhere in the universe, if I remove them and just go, it doesn't matter. Remove that, remove the ego and the preconceptions of what other people might have, and just not care, which is pretty much a rule in my life, is just try not to care what other people think. Then I see something that is pretty exciting. So I'm going to move ahead, and I left in the submission that I did of Emma E. Booker, I had a frame around her head with the orange blossom signifying the 20 years she spent getting her bachelor's degree. But when I originally set this up, I first put down chalk lines signifying her face to me, indicating the face to me, what we were going to focus on, but also some movement. So I would know where I had to create all this different movement. And I kept looking at it, and I kept spraying down aerosols and making these waves and circular motions. How do we keep the image moving? It hit me, put the orange blossoms in the swirlies, so that we have movement. There were only, I think, 13 blossoms up. If I were to keep going, the rest of them would be up and around her head, following a swirl and, giving it flow and motion. But we're gonna take it down. She's all done. She's coming down, and because she's on plastic sheeting, the paint isn't gonna hold. I'm gonna roll her up, and unfortunately, she's headed to the landfill with a lot of other plastic products, which makes me feel guilty, but at the same time, I've got to keep going. I don't have my canvases, so I've just got to keep going. So we're going to keep working with the plastic sheeting, gessoing the plastic sheeting and going from there. Oh, and I wanted to add one other hint. If you're following this and you're like, I might want to do that. When I first started painting on the plastic sheeting a couple weeks ago, I guess. Yeah, it was 2 weeks, it was like 10 days ago. And this will be my third or fourth painting on the plastic sheeting. I originally used gesso, Liquitex gesso, just because that's all I could get my hands on. But it seemed to suck the life out of the paint, so that everything was coming up dry, and no matter what I did, it really didn't breathe. It didn't come to life. It didn't have any movement, and it was slightly irritating to me. So what I ended up doing was grabbing some, actually, interior gloss, I think not eggshell, I think it's slightly glossy interior paint, and mixed in some brown and some white. I made my own color. I made my own gray, which was very, very similar to the gesso color I was using. But that Liquitex, that slight bit of gloss, actually helps the paint to come a little bit more alive. On canvases, I use flat gesso. I use flat black and white gesso, and the exact opposite happens. The exact opposite, where I apply aerosols and then oils and everything comes to life. But in this situation, it somehow is draining all the color out, draining all the life out, even with the aerosols used. So now we've got this nice, slightly glossy Liquitex color, slightly glossy interior paint color, just standard house paint color, hoping to reflect a wall or get the idea of what a wall will feel like. And it's really, really, really helping me. So once again, she's coming down, she's going in the garbage, and we'll just start another one. We're working, as I said, on or I started James Johnson, and I'm going to work on that a little bit today. All right, hope you're hanging in there. Hope you're doing well, and let's just keep producing work. I know really want to stay away from the negative because I've been so upset the past few weeks that I get in a rabbit hole, and other stuff has happened where I'm just like, oh, so tired of disappointment. But one thing I want to address is, you know, when I first started doing these videos, I lived in a vibrant city with lots of artists and things going on and stuff happening, and I could get to New York and we could do all these things, even though some of the worst things that have ever happened to me have happened in that time period, some of them. I think we've all been stuck in the same spot. COVID, we shut down, and we all became these individuals that were stuck in these little isolation cages in our homes, in our heads, in our apartments, in our hearts. And for some of us, including me, it just has continued. And it's draining, and it's hard. It's really awful. And I tend to go down my little rabbit holes. And today I found myself going down another rabbit hole going, what is the point? I don't know what the point is. I have absolutely no answer, except that we will just keep painting. This is my one connection to life. This is it. This is the reason that I'm here. And so I'm just going to keep working. I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't know what's going to come of any of it. I don't know what's going to come of the hundreds of paintings that I've done that are in various places, including my little storage room bedroom. I don't know. And it's hard and it's heartbreaking. And I think about people who write me who say, sorry, I'm all sweaty. It's like 900 degrees and I'm in Florida. I don't even know what my hair is doing at this point. I think about all the people who have written me over the years saying, I don't live in an art community. Okay, it's horrible. I need a haircut. I don't live in an art community. There isn't culture around me. I don't know what to do. And I didn't really understand it until the past couple of years. Well, since I moved here, moved to Sarasota, you know, that horrible desperation and you know, always I didn't understand, always being on the verge of just giving up. Like, what's the point? But we have continued, and we will continue to continue. We will continue to create our artwork. I don't know why. No answer. Once again, absolutely no answers. No magic words. No Lululemon meme coming out of me. We're just going to stick together. That's it. I wish I had something inspirational to say. But sometimes just validating is helpful. Hearing validation from another artist or another person. We don't know. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't know. So we just keep working. That's it. This is our connection. This is our life. So let's keep doing this thing that we love and that tortures us and keeps us up at night, but also gets us out of bed in the morning. Okay? All right, I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst & Company. If you'd like to help support the cheery messages here on Catalyst & Company, all the links are down below, including TeePublic, where you can get images of my work printed on t-shirts and junk, tote bags, Cash App, PayPal, and other stuff, blah-bitty-blah-bitty-blah. Patreon, where you can supply monthly support for as little as $5 a month, and you get a gift in the end. Anyway, I'm Beck Lane. All right, Carrie, here we go. Meow, meow. God, I need a haircut. Boink.